There he is, Alexei Pergande, 2-0 in the PFL. Thank you for giving us the time. How are you?
Good, my man. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Tell us, what is life like for a 21-year-old professional mixed martial artist?
Man, it's life's pretty good. It's tough. I actually just moved on my own with my girlfriend down to South Florida. I started training at Killcliff FC. Used to be known as Sanford MMA. All the top guys are here like Gilbert Burns, Michael Chandler. You know, a lot of good names. A lot of every practice is hard. It's never an easy day, and I'm picking up so much knowledge, and I'm living life right now and experiencing so many different things, and I'm loving it right now. It's great.
Man, that's great. You're surrounded by a bunch of veteran fighters. Great opportunity for you. So, did you ever imagine being in this spot at 21 years old in the PFL?
Honestly, no. I thought I was gonna be still fighting locally and like building up my record. Um, but shout out to my manager, Steve Swedish from Ruby Sports and Entertainment. He hooked it up. I had a opportunity to fight for a Challenger Series. They had debuts only. I was actually just coming off an injury from that too. I was like so bummed about it. I was about to fight for a local promotion in Nashville, where I'm originally from, Nashville, Tennessee, and I got injured. I was so bummed about it. I was about to sign my first pro fight. Um, my manager called me up after, I was done with rehab and all that stuff. And was like, hey, we got this opportunity. PFL is doing this new thing called Challenger Series, and it's debuts only. So I think it'd be a great opportunity for you to come on. And, I came on, I won the contract, and, um, you know, that was a great time.
Here you are. Yes, so you did mention Killcliff FC, formerly known as Sanford MMA, and like you said, it's been home to so many greats, past, present, and future. So I saw that you were getting some work in with Michael Chandler. Are you getting training in with these top level guys regularly there?
Yeah, I mean, like all these guys are super consistent. Michael Chandler, he does like he switches because his he lives in Nashville, Tennessee, where I'm from as well. So
Hmm.
kind of he's usually just down there for his camps and whatnot. But guys like Gilbert Burns and a couple others, they're down there full time and they're in the room full time. So yeah, I'm trying to soak up as much knowledge as I can and ask as many questions as I can from these veterans and just getting better every day. That's the goal.
Excellent, man. So tell us a bit about the kickboxing, the wrestling background. Did you know that combat sports was going to be your path from a very young age?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of introduced to me, like you said, at a very young age. It was me and my brother grew up fighting, training with each other. I started competing wrestling and boxing at 9 years old. That's when I started like competing. I think I was in one of my very first fights was like in the silver gloves. I think I won my first couple fights, and then I had like a loss. I remember something like that, but I ended up having 88 amateur boxing matches. At one point, I think I was ranked eighth in the country, maybe for USA boxing. The goal was actually to be a professional boxer. Um, I didn't start mixed martial arts until I was around 16 years old. But I wrestled my whole life all the way through high school too, and since I was 9 years old as well. And I was like, I love wrestling, and I'm just gonna go down that route. I started picking up kickboxing, and in 2019, after a couple of years, train kickboxing, train my kicks, I went to the Waco, whatever you want to say, kickboxing nationals. I won that, and then I got invited to Team USA to fight in Bosnia, overseas, and I placed fifth in the World Championships. It was me coming off. I had not much kickboxing experience, and I had like two fights going into the World Championships. of kickboxing. So yeah, it was an experience, but I'm glad I had that kind of opportunity, that kind of experience, and it was great. It was a great time.
What a journey, man. You're so decorated at such a young age. So then you then go on to go 4-0 in the South East regional scene in Tennessee. What was that experience fighting in Valor and in those smaller promotions?
That was a great, I mean, great time. Those guys, um, they're all great guys. Jeff Hobbs and all the people that are on Valor. They're great people. I'm glad I fought for a promotion like that. Um, it was good, but like I said, I needed to kind of a step up in competition, and I'm glad I'm in PFL now, and they take care of me, and PFL is a great promotion, and I look forward to fighting with them for a very long time.
That's great, man. So it was through your management that you were able to get on the PFL's radar.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like I said, shout out to Steve Swedish, great guy. He hooks me up with all these great opportunities, and all I got to do is just capitalize and capture the opportunity.
Excellent. I gotta say that last fight you had at Valor, that knockout finish was one for your highlight reel, would you say?
Oh yeah, it was one of those knockouts that I ended up kind of comparing my other fights to, which was definitely unhealthy. I'm like a perfectionist, I should say. I want everything to be perfect. I want everything to be a highlight reel, but in the MMA world, that just simply doesn't happen. Um, you get tough fights, you have, bad camps, you have hard camps, you go through injury, sickness, whatever it is. And every fight can't be your perfect fight, your perfect form, your perfect self. I'm just grateful to win, and that's really all that really matters is building my record and just keep winning no matter what.
Yes, right on. So you made your PFL debut in April. You get the submission victory, arm triangle choke in round two. You earn a contract. Post-fight interview, you state that you couldn't let your hands go like you wanted that night. I know you said there was something weight cutting issues, a couple issues with the broadcast. Looking back at it now, how was that experience? It was your pro debut in a major promotion. Did nerves play a factor?
Yeah, no. There was a lot of, like I said, the warm up was kind of messed up. It was a little delayed and whatnot. Um, I think we fought like 2 hours or something like after the actual scheduled time. So it was kind of like a weird place, and Challenger Series was new, so they were just experimenting with the whole thing, and I understand, why that happened. Um, looking at it now, like my performance um, it wasn't bad at all. It was a pretty clean performance, and I did what I had to do. Um, but yeah, I couldn't let my hands go that fight. I think I burned out a little, not because of the nerves, but because of how much I was warming up. Um, I would like warm up, cool down, warm up, cool down, warm up, cool down, a total of like 3 times or something like that. So it wasn't great for my body, and yeah, I mean, yeah, I learned a lot from that experience, and um, I'm glad to go through things like that.
Excellent. So your last fight was in August at PFL 7, Hulu Theater in Madison Square Garden. How did you feel competing in a historic building like MSG that has been the site of so many great sporting events?
Yeah, it was obviously like once in a lifetime opportunity, which I didn't want to miss. Even though I probably, looking back at it now, I mean, I wouldn't change anything, but I'm never taking a fight as in what shape I was and what condition I was. That fight, I was it was just one of the worst camps I could go through. I've never experienced anything like it. I moved from Nashville to Florida halfway through the camp. So it was around 2 weeks left, 2.5 weeks left before my fight. Um, one of the first practices here at Killcliff, I got cut from a headbutt. Um, it was actually from my boy Jared Gordon. He actually just fought Patty Pimblett But yeah, shout out to him. Accident, he headbutted me by an accident. Me and him were going at it. He was doing what he was supposed to do. He was trying to pressure and get inside, and he hit me with an accidental headbutt. But yeah, shout out to my boy Jared Gordon. He won that fight, by the way, 100%.
I agree.
But yeah, after I had to take a couple days off. I kept getting cut open, had to get my eye glued shut, and then I had to starting to cut weight and whatnot. Everything was going okay after I got cut, and around 2 weeks before my fight, I get super sick. I was on bed rest. I still don't know what it was. It wasn't COVID, but I was literally on bed rest. I couldn't walk for a whole week before my fights. I couldn't even go to the gym. I couldn't prepare. I couldn't be mentally prepared. I even called my manager. I was like, "Hey, should we like pull out of this fight?" Um, but we talked through it, and I was like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I don't want to miss it. And I'm happy I did that. Um, you know, then going into fight week, I was already drained. I was already like so ahead of my weight cut schedule just because I was so sick. I couldn't eat anything. My head was aching. I had a stuffed nose, stuffed lungs. It was terrible. But I was trying to act like I was super healthy when I remember walking around, and they did like an interview for the right before I think right before weigh-ins. They do like a media interview with all the fighters, and they asked me, like, how are you feeling? I was like, oh, I'm feeling stronger than ever, and I was completely just bullshitting with them. But yeah, it was a great experience. All that matters is that I won. Um, Even though it was a split decision, it's a hard fight, and I'm grateful for that hard fight because I know that if I was in 100% peak shape, I would have finished that guy. And he couldn't beat me at his best night, and I beat him at my worst night. And I think that says a lot. And yeah, I'm grateful for that victory.
For sure, man. Again, you said you earned the split decision victory. He was a tough guy, but you did well controlling him with your grappling, similar to your other fight in the PFL. You've had a lot of success dictating the pace of these fights, would you say?
Yeah, I kind of expose people sometimes for their lack of ability to defend a takedown. That's kind of what I did with my last guy and the guy before that. I knew, like I said, I couldn't really let my hands go. I actually in both fights, which is impressive. Um, but I'm very well rounded, and if one thing doesn't work, I just stick to the other, and I exposed them on the ground. I just kept top control and kept taking him down, taking him down, taking him down, and that's all I really needed to do to win the fight.
That's right. So you would say maybe the fatigue that you had and the adversity you were dealing with before the fight may have been and caused some of the issues with the cardio in the fight.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not here to make excuses. Yeah, it was a shit camp. Yeah, it was one of the roughest thing ever. But all that matters is I won. Like I said, I won on my best, on my worst night. He lost at his best. I'm not gonna sit here and say he won or anything like that because I 100% won that fight and I controlled it, and
Hmm.
you know it
For
was mine.
for sure, it was your night. Yeah, you mentioned Jared Gordon, Gilbert Burns, Michael Chandler. Uh, I believe also Claudio Poyes. Does he train at Killcliff? Yeah, yeah, he's a Peruvian. I'm a Peruvian also. I love that guy.
Yeah,
And
he's amazing. He's a super nice guy. I've been training with him. He also goes to the strength and conditioning gym that I go to as well. And yeah, he's one of my boys as well. I was actually I was training with him a lot when I got down here, and working on striking and whatnot. His jiu-jitsu is amazing. His jiu-jitsu is definitely amazing. So
great submission skills. So there's a lot of guys in that those weight classes close to you at that gym, right? The 170, 155, 145. So you get a lot of different training partners there.
yeah. I mean, that's honestly one of the biggest reasons I wanted to move down here as well. Just because there's so much people close to my weight class, and there's actually just so many fighters here in South Florida. There's ATT. There's just so many gyms around here. And people always cross train. Like I've only been at Kill Cliff just because I love the team. I love how everyone's just a team there. It's a great gym, a great atmosphere. Everyone works hard and everyone tries to help each other to be better every single day. And that motivates me.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So, when is the next fight, and what can us fans expect in the next performance?
So I'm gonna give you a little insight. I'm not 100% sure if I'm supposed to say this,
Okay,
uh,
go
but
ahead.
okay for give you some inside news. So PFL is the actual season won't start probably until April or May. Um, so they talked to my manager and they said, since I already won Challenger Series, I already have the contract. They can't get me a fight until May or April. And I'm trying to stay active, so they gave me allowance for one fight to fight for any promotion I want
Ooh,
for April. So we'll see how that goes. It's a little inside news. I hope my manager doesn't kill me for giving that news out. But
wow.
but yeah, I can fight one fight for any promotion I want. And then yeah, I'm right back to PFL. I just keep building my record, and yeah, back to PFL, and hopefully we'll have a great year this year.
Are there any leads?
No, not yet, not yet. Not, we'll
Oh,
see. We'll see.
man, that's crazy, man. That's some breaking news right there. But anyways, you're feeling good. You want to stay active. I know you've had some injuries in the past, but right now the body feels good.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Obviously there's little, um, you know, training hard every single day comes with this downfalls and having little um, aches and bruises. But for the most part, no, nothing major, and I'm just trying to stay training hard, and it is what it is.
Right. Focused, committed. Alexei, man, that's all I got for you. Thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it. Your career, it's off to a great start. You're 2-0 in the PFL. Plenty of combat sport experience that you said the 88 kickboxing matches, an amateur title, high school wrestling, 6-0 in MMA overall, Russian DNA. I mean, you are a problem every time you step into that smart cage. Is there anything else you want to say or shout out?
I know. No, honestly, shout out to you. Thank you for having me on. It was a pleasure meeting you and a pleasure having this talk. Um, if you guys want to go follow me, keep up with me on social media, Alexei Pergande. Go ahead, give me a follow. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for having me, my man.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Very cool. I'm glad that we were able to connect. You were able to, willing to do the interview for me. I'm just kind of getting started doing this interview stuff with the fighters and blogging. But I'm a big MMA fan, sports fan in general, but MMA is my favorite. So excellent to be able to speak with you. Look forward to doing it again. Man, you got to let me know when that fight is and who's under what banner it's going to be for because I got to see. I got to
Okay.
find out. Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I will be. If anything, it's gonna be on my Instagram. I'll have some kind of fight news. So, like I said, keep up with it, and it'll be posted.
For sure. Excellent, man. We will do this again. Thank you, brother. And also, happy holidays to you, man.
Thank you, my man. You too.
All right, brother. We'll talk soon. Thanks. There he was, Alexei Pergande, Russian DNA, 2-0 in the PFL. Breaking a little news. It's not 100% sure, but he may be fighting under a different banner before the PFL tournament later this year. That's crazy. That is crazy. And we look forward to hearing from him. Awesome guy, really nice guy, super humble. Only 21 years old. Sky's the limit for him. I think he is going to be one of the biggest stars in the PFL coming very, very soon. Alexi Pergande, everybody, thank you so much for listening. If just like, comment, subscribe, and we'll be back with another fighter interview. We appreciate it. Once again, peace.